All right, so you're going to open TikTok. You'll click the plus at the bottom and get started. You pick the length of the video that you want. I did 15 seconds just because it was an example video. Then you stop recording and you hit the red check mark to move to the next step. Then you pick the one that is below the 3 circles to start get into the edit clip mode. And it's similar to CapCut if you're familiar with that. So I will explain this portion if you're not familiar with it. If you are, then you can go to, skip ahead to get to the part that is after this editing process. So what I'll do is I'll move the video, and I'm not listening, there's no sound here. I'll move the video to right where I go from my mouth being closed to like when it's just about to open or opening. And then I will long press on the arrow to the left and drag it to the right, and it should like clip it to where the line is. So again, I have my finger at the bottom of the screen under where it says add sound, just in that blank space, to scroll left to right to move the video along, and then I get it to right where my mouth is about to open. Then I long press on the left arrow and drag it to the right, and it should clip it. You'll feel like a little buzz on your screen, and you'll feel that it clicked to the spot where you put it. So this is something that I've learned over time, because you don't actually have to listen to the video and then pause it. You can just watch yourself do it. So I don't actually have to listen to the videos. So in a second here, I will probably start listening to the video, to like the longer clips, in case if there's a lot of or just like me thinking through the next word, then I'll kind of clip it and pull that section out, which I think I did in one of these clips, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to check. So I'm just going to kind of pause here and see if I do that before I continue recording the voiceover. So the next about half a minute is me doing more of the same. So it's just watching it to see me do it a couple more times before you try it on your own. And then I will start speaking again when I get to the part where I cut in the middle of a longer section. Time on this app more, we realize it doesn't really fit our need. So we're trying to work on making a new one. But until that happens, we have a community. A lot of amazing neurodivergent queer people have joined and helped build this community. All right, so here you're going to see me select a section, cut it in half, and then I adjust the section ahead and back. I cut out a space where there was an and then I highlight a section and the section before and after to make it seamless. So I'll stop talking to see if you can hear it here. Helped build this community. And helped build this community. Helped build this. What you'll see me do now here is zoom in, just like a picture, pinch fingers, and open slowly to have more space to maneuver within that space. You can cut it. When you clip a video, it doesn't really truly delete it. So I was holding and dragging in more footage on either side of the clip so that the sound would be a little more seamless. So when I hold and drag it, it went from 7 seconds to 8 seconds, or went from 1 second to 1.1 seconds, or whatever it is that it needed to try to get the sound to match up. So when you delete the video, unless you fully delete the whole segment, you can edit by dragging it, brings back in the video. I had to leave because, capitalism. And we're trying to organize ourselves in a way so that we can be a holacrustic organization. There's no one at the top. I'm just the one that likes making videos. So if you have skills you want to share, or you just want to be in community with other neurodivergent, queer, and BIPOC folk, come join us. If the server is too overwhelming, we can So here what you're seeing me is just watch and listen for the seamlessness of all the cuts, and that was one that needed a little more of a space between the cut to give it to be able to hear each word individually. Each one has to have a little bit of a dead air space, so that's what I was doing there, just adding a little bit more space. So because I did all of these edits without actually listening to the video. So now you're going to hit the caption button, which is a little box with a lot of lines at the bottom half. And normally I don't listen through, I read through. And then I will go back and listen through it when it's on the screen to make sure I didn't miss anything. So a lot of the times when I say BIPOC, it will say park or something. So I'll have to change that. But I'm just trying to quickly go through it since I'm going to probably listen to this like 5 or 6 times. I'll usually catch most of the mistakes, but I'm also not trying to be a perfectionist about it. So I'm kind of just like, whatever I can do it at the pace that I want to do this at, rather than trying to be in a perfect scenario. Get this down to hopefully under 10 minutes, but essentially like that is the amount of time it takes me to edit the video. The actual recording of it, usually you have a minute to record, but then since I pause between the ums and the uhs to try to think through what my next phrase is going to be, a 1-minute video might take me 3 to 5 minutes to record. Here you can see I was just trying to figure out the spelling of holocratic, and I think I mispronounced it in the video, but I wasn't going to bother to re-record it. But you can re-record just a section without having to re-record the whole video, and that's an options in your edit feature when you go back to the edit section. But I didn't do that in this case, so I didn't show it, but it is an option. So here you're going to see me change the background of the edit. The auto one is a little harder to read, I think, in my opinion, so I'm trying to make it easier to visually read it. I don't like to use the full blackout background in case sometimes I have to put it over my face, and so I want to be able to get the expression. Now for the added text on the screen. So the first one is Discord, and you just type it in, and then you hit set duration. So I'm trying to find the duration of where I want the Discord to show up. You'll see this move a few times in the video, but essentially you just hold one end of the bar, hold it down, drag to the time. I use the captions. I always wait to do this after I do the captions because the captions help me find where I want to put it rather than having to listen for the right spot to put a pop-up text or sticker. Here I sped this up. All I'm doing is watching through the video and listening while reading to see if I can catch any errors in the text, because that's easier for me to find when I'm watching the video. So I caught a couple here. It says queer and BIPOC. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add stickers. So I click the sticker button. I typed in heart. I try to click it and then you drag it. When you drag it, it shows where the icons should be, but it's always wrong. So when you actually post it, it's off. So I always do it a little lower than where it's supposed to be. Then I do the join us, and you'll see when I drag it over where it shows the one free app, like profile button should be. And I actually put it lower than that because it's always, like I said, off. I think they do that on purpose. So yeah, here you see I shrink it a little and then I drag it over. I really just want everyone to have a community. And now here you're going to just see me set the duration. So you click on the sticker, set duration, and then again drag, and you can either drag the white bar across or you can hit the play button when you're getting into smaller sections. It's harder to get the drag to read your finger dragging, so you just have to either move the white bar out of the way or hit play until it gets out of the way and then move the white bar. The white bar is just the place where your video is currently playing at. And then here's another one. Another suppression tactic they do is anything that says .com on it, they try to suppress videos like that. So I try to add extra spaces in and around places so that they won't suppress the video. And again, I'm deciding on the placement for this one. And I eventually move it to the bottom, but you always have to remember that everything is a little off from where they say it should be on this view. So I kind of make sure I put it kind of up closer to the middle where my captions are, so that it all gets on the screen, because then other people's, like, you put it a little over here, a little over there. The more to the edge you put it, the more it'll get cut off. Okay, so next you're going to hit the next button, and then you have to go to the top corner and hit select cover, and this is where I'm selecting the cover for the video. So even though I'm going to put text over the video, if I were to share this, the cover picture is all they see. They don't see the text of the cover unless you embed that into the video, which I used to do, but then I got tired of doing it because it would always like mess up or something. So I'm hitting the select cover at the top right, and then picking the video, and now I'm adding the overlay text for the title of the video. That's what's going to be seen when people go to our page. And again, just trying to do consistency, make sure that it fits on the screen and is legible in that little tiny thumbnail. And then here I am just adding a ton of hashtags. Sometimes having a ton of hashtags work, other times they don't help. It's just, depends on how often they change the algorithm. So I remembered after the fact that I have all of these in a note that I could just copy and paste in here, so don't be like me. Make a note, and then you can use it every time you record a TikTok. The final section is just going to be me watching the whole video through and making a last couple adjustments, so I'll just let that play. And most importantly, the more and more we spend time on this app, the more we realize it doesn't really fit our needs. So we're trying to work on making a new one. But until that happens, we have a community. A lot of amazing neurodivergent queer people have joined and helped build this community. From the beginning, the more queer people have joined, and the more and more we spend time on this app, the more we realize it doesn't really fit our needs. So we're trying to work on making a new one. But until